Hey, greetings once again and welcome to Father Forever Podcast. This podcast today is an amazing podcast for a young man, young boy, 18 years old. His name is Dontay, and wait till you hear his story. His great-grandmother and his great-great-grandfather played a major role in his life. So, hey, let's go to Dontay's story. Hey, greetings everybody. Here we are on podcast. A Father Forever podcast. I'm so excited today because I got a young man that's graduating from high school. His name is Dontay, and his great grandfather, who played a very big part in his life. Because not only are we a father forever, we are also a grandfather forever. In some cases, a great grandfather forever. And my brother's name is Leroy. I've been knowing him for a number of years. He knew my son when my son was young playing golf. So. Man, I'm more than excited. Dontay's a great young man. He's a fine young man. So, Dontay, we'll start the questioning with you, okay? How are you?
Wait, how am I?
How old are you?
Oh, I'm 17, about to turn 18 in about a month.
Okay, good. Now, how long have you been playing golf? Because we met on the golf course. I met your great-grandfather on the golf course. We became great friends, and when my son was playing as well, that's how we kind of connected. So how long have you been playing golf?
I think I've been playing about 7 years, around there.
About 7 years. Okay. Well, that's good. And you're excelling at the game because you're playing at the high school. You're the number one player on the high school team?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a humble guy as well, so that's what we like about him. He has great attributes about him, and we're proud of you, man. We're proud of you.
Thanks.
Okay, Dontay, let's go back to your childhood. We are organizations of Father Forever, and tell me something about your mom, your dad that you can remember, especially from your father's side.
So, I mean, from the age of, I think before I was 2, my grandma, I started living with her, like, she started taking care of me, so I don't really have I don't really have any memories of, being with my mom, really, or, early years, first few years of my life. And then my dad, I would see him a lot, because I used to be with my other grandma also. I would stay at her house, every weekend, summers, so he would always be there. I would see him, but, I mean, he was in and out of jail, so he wasn't there as much as I wish he could have been. Okay, yeah, it's interesting you say that because at any age we all desire a relationship with our father. Yeah.
Okay. But you had a man that became a big part of your life. Your great grandfather.
Yeah. Okay, so for a while I lived with my great grandfather when I was younger, and I mean, being around him, he introduced me to a lot of things like golf and tennis and having a healthy lifestyle, how to be active, eat well, and I mean, that was the start of it, just being around him all the time. I mean, I looked up to him as a role model because, I mean, he was all I really had for a male figure in my life. So your great-grandfather was a father forever to you? Yeah.
So how does that make you feel that as a great-grandfather, that means he's got a couple years on you?
Yeah.
So he must have had a great balance about him to be persuasive to you. And you were, from what he told me, you would listen quite a bit because he was teaching as much as he could.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like me, I don't talk very much, but I do a lot of listening, and I like to just learn and soak in things from other people. And I mean, with him being so much older than me, I knew he knew a lot more about life than I did. So I mean, I just listened to everything he said, tried to do right, do the things he told me to, because I knew he had my best interest in mind.
Man, that should really, even to this day, it makes you feel very, very special, right?
Yes.
I'm going to talk to your grandfather for a moment because he's my buddy too. Man, Leroy, so you must have saw something in this young boy for you to spend all that time with him.
Yeah, I did. Like he said, he always listened. And he always looked me right in the eye when I'm talking to him, from a very, very young age. Sometimes I'd be trying to give him very important information or even trying to chastise him or, tell him. And he'd stare me right in the eye. So he's staring at me so long, he almost intimidated me and said, hey, well, don't look at me like
Don't
that.
look at you like that?
Yeah. But I found out that was a real asset he has because when he's looking at you, he's listening to what you say. And if you tell him something, he would go ahead and do what you told him.
Well, what's so very important about that is you find that, especially when the kids are in the preteens and teens, they don't have that listening ear.
Yeah.
They think they know pretty much everything.
Yeah. Certain things he thought I'd tell him and he wouldn't say nothing, but I could tell that he didn't really care for what I was saying. Or, not blatantly, but just
And that's normal.
Yeah, right. Yeah. For a kid, yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't go over the edge with it.
Oh, no, never.
Yeah.
He was always within reach,
Man, what a blessing, man.
Yeah, he was always within reach. So I had to just make sure I could do what I could do to make him have a better life as he grow older.
See, that's what a father forever, a grandfather forever, and a great-grandfather forever does. We want to make sure our children and our grandchildren, great-grandchildren have a better life than what we've had. So, man, you're very blessed, Dontay, to have Leroy in your life, and you acknowledge that. You're very respectful, man. And let's talk about some of your school accomplishments, because you've been doing some things in school pretty good, from what I understand. Let's start back in the elementary school. You was one of the top students in the class. Matter of fact, I think Leroy told me you're a senior now in high school, and you missed one day of school. Tell me why you missed that one day.
So the only reason I missed that one day was due to a school shooter threat. So,
So all the kids didn't go to school? You just didn't go to school?
No, there's barely any kids at school that day. So, I value my life more than one day of school. I feel like I could always go back and learn everything the next day. So I was just being safe, taking precaution.
Well, see, back in my day, the old folks would call you, they said, well, you have an old soul. I don't know if you heard that before or not. But you're 17 years old, you don't talk like a 17-year-old. So let's talk some more about your school accomplishments, because you've done quite a few things, man, from what I understand.
Yeah, so in my elementary school went up to 6th grade, so when we graduated, I received a president's award for being the top kid in the class, best grades, best overall, and it was a signed thing from Donald Trump, so I think that was pretty cool. And then middle school is alright. It went by really fast, so.
Okay.
And
that was the 7th and 8th grade, right?
Yeah, and also COVID hit right in the middle of 8th grade, so I didn't get to graduate, didn't get to experience anything, so it's kind of middle school is a very short time span in my mind. It went by really fast. And then high school, I feel like high school, because of golf, it left a much bigger impact on me for sure.
Yeah, because from my understanding, you received a golf scholarship at a university here in California. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I played golf throughout high school. I actually, after 9th grade, I switched schools so that I could play on the high school golf team at another school, because the school I was at in 9th grade, Carson High School, it didn't have a golf team. So I switched to play golf, and then played golf all throughout high school and still playing golf. Actually, our season's starting in 2 weeks, so looking forward to that. But yeah, I reached out to coaches and the coach at Dominguez Hills, he decided to give me a chance, and I'm thankful for that.
Well, man, we expect great things because you got the work ethic, that's for sure. So, even though you had your great grandfather in your life, directing you, guiding you, instructing you, do you miss your father?
I think it's impossible not to, but I mean, now, unfortunately, he passed away. He was shot and killed, and
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I mean, now, like, I always saw in the future maybe I could have a relationship with him, but I mean, it doesn't bother me too much anymore. Like, when I was younger, it for sure bothered me, but I mean, I understand life isn't fair, so just.
Well, that's a great statement, man. Life isn't fair,
Yeah.
and the younger you understand that, the better you're going to be able to deal with it. You know, and that's part of what we, at a Father Forever, this is what we try to tell fathers. Look, you can't get time back that you spend away from your kids because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. So if you have the time to do stuff with your kids, do it. Because, you know, everything else, you know, is stuff. You know, what, going to football games, basketball, whatever you're doing, buying, you know, your cars, your clothes, whatever. All that stuff is good, but what's even more important is the time that you spend with your child, because he or she will remember that for a lifetime. Just like you remember all the stuff that your great-grandma's been telling you. You take that forever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and see what I said, you put that big smile on your face, man, because you appreciate him.
Yes. Very much.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and don't forget his grandmother.
That was coming next.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna forget grandma now. Yeah, because your grandmother played a significant role in your upbringing, man. So grandma, we salute you as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she took me in at a young age and made sure she gave me as much as she could with what she had. So I'm forever thankful for that.
Man, that's really great. And you know, you're making a good point, because for whatever reasons, there's some mothers and some fathers that don't get it, for whatever reasons. You know, and there's times where grandmother and grandfather, in some cases, great-grandmother and great-grandfather got to step in to be part of that village.
That's right.
Of raising that child, because we lose too many of our children, Leroy, because there's no one stepping in to have done what you have done. And I commend you and your it's your granddaughter, correct?
My daughter.
Oh, it's your daughter.
My daughter.
Your daughter.
His grandmother.
His grandmother. That's right. I commend you guys. Where would you be today if you didn't have those two people in your life?
I have no idea.
You're gonna be playing golf right now, probably, huh?
I for sure wouldn't be playing golf. I mean, the only reason I even tried golf is because of my grandfather. So, I mean, I wouldn't be playing golf. I wouldn't have a scholarship. Like, I don't know where I would be right now.
So once again, you know, the value of a father figure, because there's a lot of kids out there, boys and girls, that because they didn't have a father figure impact on their life, to share them the wisdom from a male perspective. They never had that, and you kind of walking around just playing aimlessly. And there's some people that you end up picking up some bad friends.
Yeah.
Some friends you really don't want to. That if dad or mom was there or whatever, you wouldn't be around those folks. So.
Yeah. It goes back to him listening, man. He's always been a good listener, you know. I remember when he first went to, elementary school, and what was the thing he did in Culver City with the blocks, you know.
The robotics.
Yeah.
Like building a robot and like coding it to do tasks and things like that.
Yeah, but one of the teachers, he told me, he heard me say, when Dontay first came to his class and was interested in the robotics and stuff. He didn't think Dontay was going to, this was his first impression. He just didn't think Dontay had it. And then they had, as the classes went on, Dontay became the leader of the class.
Okay.
Yes, and they had a robotic tournament in Culver City with a bunch of, lots of schools. Yeah. But Dontay was the leader of his team in the robotic and stood out and, just showed a lot of talent, but was underestimated just by looking at him by the teacher.
Yeah,
but the teacher admitted that he made a big mistake.
Kudos to the teacher, but see, a lot of times our black kids are stereotyped and put in a certain position. See, right. And I remember a story, you never heard this before, but I'll never forget, when I was in 6th grade, I used to go around the room. What do you want to be when you grow up? So he got to me, and I said, I want to be a lawyer. And the teacher said, no. I can tell you his name, but I won't. I'm sure he's dead now, but I still ain't going to say his name. But 6th grade, elementary school. I said, no. You got to come up with something else because black kids can't be lawyers. Yeah. I said, what? So, and here it is, 60-some years later, that still resonates within me.
Right.
So that's why, it's critical, man, that you do listen. And the good thing about it, when you're listening to good advice, whether someone's full of it or not, right? You know what good advice is. So, what do you attribute that, your skill or your gift of listening? I mean, you ever thought about why you're such a great listener?
Not really. I just like to learn. Like,
yeah, that's the word.
That's all it
is.
That's
the word. Learn.
You're a smart guy, man. Because the only way you can learn is by listening, man. Because you don't. Yeah, I'm not gonna run up that wall. But yeah, that's great, man.
Well, he could have played everything. Dontay was an excellent basketball player, huh? Oh, he could really, he was good. When he used to go to the boys' club in Carson, and I asked this kid one time, he told me he went to the boys' club in Carson. I said, well, you know Dontay Bell? He said, yeah. I said, he played basketball there? He said, yeah, he could ball.
That's one of his peers saying that, huh?
Yeah. And wherever Dontay has been, where he's competing with other kids his age, he's excelled. When he was at the boys' club, and they had the speaking contest, and they had it down at the Porsche place down there in Carson, Dontay was the best speaker on the team. He won that contest that they had, gave him his first computer.
Yeah.
Oh, how about, is that right?
Yeah, so I went to the Boys and Girls Club of Carson while I was in middle school for 7th and 8th grade, and there's like a competition, like, to see, you had to write a speech, say it in front of judges, answer questions about they ask you about your life and goals and things and stuff. So I did that, and I won at at my site, but there's the overall Boys and Girls Club of Carson, so it was a bunch of different sites and multiple kids, and that was the real competition, and I won that, and I got my first computer. Yeah.
That was exciting a bit. How old were you then?
13, 14.
Oh, that must have been big, man.
Yeah. Well, that was 7th grade, so around 13, 12.
Yeah, 12 or 13.
Now, just recently, they're shutting down a local, they already shut down a local golf course here, and I heard that you got up and had something to say about it.
Yeah, so there's this golf course in Carson called the Links at Victoria, and it's the only golf course in that area. The closest golf courses to it are 20 minutes away, so in that community, that's the only golf course we have. And I live in Carson. It's in Carson at Victoria Park. So they've been debating for years, since about 2015, if they're gonna tear this place down, because I mean it's in bad condition, and they weren't making enough money, not enough people were playing, and they're having a meeting to discuss the future. And I went there expecting that I'd have to like explain to people why they should keep this course, the impact it had on me, people like me, teammates, other junior golfers I know, just regular people in the community. But I didn't have to argue. It turns out they're going to keep the course and try to improve it a bit. So I just went up there and I told them the impact that it had on me, so that they know the value of the course.
It impacted that on your life.
Yeah, because that's where I practice every day, every weekend, all summer, every day.
So did you have to ask to speak, or they asked you to speak?
No, you just volunteer to speak.
So you volunteered?
Yes.
So,
if you want to speak, then you can.
So the quiet kid from Carson that's very low key got up there and said what you had to say, man. That's commendable.
Yeah. So I don't talk a lot, but I feel very comfortable speaking to people and in front of people, and I don't know where it came from, but the first time I experienced it was the Boys and Girls Club Carson. When I won the contest, we went to the Porsche Experience Center in Carson. Like, it's a big place, Porsche. They have all their cars there and
They used to have a golf course there, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to play, right?
Yeah.
That's right. I used to do a golf course.
And so I went there, spoke in front of hundreds of people, like executives, Boys and Girls Club, executives, donors, a lot of people, and that was my first experience talking to people, and I wasn't nervous. Like, it felt natural, which was weird, but I embraced it. So now, I mean, I feel comfortable always talking to people, but I don't talk a lot because I like to listen. So yeah.
Well, that's a gift. You know, I tell my buddy all the time that listening is a gift. Because not too many people want to listen or can listen. You know, I always made a comment, that's why the good Lord gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you can hear twice as much as you speak. You know, so, man, and I want any parents, any fathers, any kids watching this, that no matter what goes on in your life, Dontay is a prime example, because he had the support of his mother and his grandmother and his great-grandfather, and the fact that he was willing to listen, you were willing to listen, man, and you would read your books, you would study, you would do your homework. You didn't have a lot of distractions, although there were plenty of distractions out there, right? You decided to to listen to the wise words you were getting from your great-grandfather and apply them to your life.
Yeah.
That gotta be pretty exciting. That gotta be pretty rewarding, don't you think?
Yeah, I figured out from a pretty young age that I already knew that, like, my grandma and great-grandpa, they knew way more than I probably ever know. So I knew if I listened to them that they wouldn't lead me down the wrong path. They had my best interests in their minds when they were telling me things, even though I may not have liked certain things. Obviously, all kids go through that, but I mean, I knew if I listened that I would go somewhere positive and good things would happen.
Now, from a great-grandfather standpoint, man, you got to feel so good about this guy, man.
I'm proud of him, and he's you can help a kid that wants to help itself. And it just so happened he's my great grandchild.
Well, man, that's a great saying. I wish more people understand that, because I've talked to my buddy about that as well. I said, I will help anyone that's willing to help themselves.
Right.
But if you don't want to help yourself, you wasting my time then.
Exactly.
You know, so your time was well invested into this young man here
well, he's helped me too, because, a lot of times I don't want to go take him to them tournaments, but I need to stay active, so I get up and we get out there. We was on the road a lot, going to tournaments.
You gotta keep those bones moving, man, or they'll stop on you.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. That's right. And so it was a two-way thing, you know.
You don't notice, but me and your great grandpa talked a number of times over the years that man, we can't wait till we go to Augusta and see you in the Masters. You remember that, Leroy? You know, so man, we just want the best for you, man, and people who are watching this, man, want them to hopefully some young men and some young women as well in the teen years, early 20s, will realize that you're listening to your support group, your village that cares about you, that loves about you. You have to be willing to listen. Stay away from all that stuff, because it's just stuff, man. I'm sure you have friends that are out there that fell along the wayside. Can you talk about?
I think now, like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like now people think they know too much. Like, think they know everything. They're like, I don't need help. I don't need you. But I mean, they don't understand that there's always going to be somebody that knows more than you. And if you're not willing to learn from those people, you won't advance in life. You won't get better. You won't better your situation. You won't see the world in a new light. And your perspective will stay small. You won't learn anything.
Hey, what's your GPA at school? Because I heard it was high.
It's 3.7.
3.7.
Yeah.
Not too bad, Leroy.
Yeah. The only reason is probably because of golf. Because when I switched schools, like, it was a bit weird to me. Like, the teaching styles are completely different. Like, one school is like, all we did was just do stuff out of the book and just, like, basically do everything yourself. But once I switched, I feel like it was more like college, like, where you take notes, you pay attention, but it's really up to you to get things done. And the first year I had to adapt, like, and I realized that, like, after 10th grade, I realized, I need to, like, really learn and change the way that I'm doing things, or else I'm not gonna get good grades. So started paying attention more, taking more notes, investing more time in actually doing my work, because before I just felt like I wasn't trying hard enough. So I just tried a bit more, and it made a bit of a difference.
Man, I love your transparency, man. You put the time and you put the work in, man. You know, and that says something. You know, being a retired school teacher, that says something about the school system within itself. Because you went from one school system to a different school system.
Yeah.
And one, you said, almost like preparing for college, like, just going through the motions. And that happens far too often in the school system in America, right?
The schools the culture at the school is different, the resources completely different, and I feel like sometimes the teachers are more invested if they're in a, like, better situation at their school.
Interesting. And see, the problem with being a parent, you're busy working. So you don't have time to run up to school all the time to check out the ABC and how everything is going on. You know, so what would you tell someone that's in middle school? It's in middle school right now. Let's say they're in 6th or 7th grade. What advice would you give them as far as their work habits or the listening habits, whatever those kind of habits that help you to advance to the position where you are now? You know, instead of playing around and doing everything that they shouldn't be doing, what advice would you give them?
Well, first off, just pay attention. Like, if you just pay attention encompasses, like, actually looking, observing your surroundings, as well as listening at the same time. So you pay attention, you're gonna find something new. You're gonna learn from your teachers. For me, I found that paying attention was probably the best thing that I ever did. When I didn't pay attention, then I was clueless and I couldn't do anything. But if I paid attention, then I learned something and I improved and bettered myself. So I feel like paying attention, and then also find something that you really love to do.
Good point.
I feel like once you're in high school, like most people, they don't have any idea what they want to do. But I feel like if you find something you love, whether it be art or sports, or if you just like talking to people, join a debate team or something. But find something you love and really invest in it and put your time and passion into it. Well, first off, just pay attention. Like, if you just pay attention encompasses like actually looking, observing your surroundings, as well as listening at the same time. So you pay attention, you're gonna find something new. You're gonna learn from your teachers. For me, I found that paying attention was probably the best thing that I ever did. When I didn't pay attention, then I was clueless and I couldn't do anything. But if I paid attention, then I learned something and I improved and bettered myself. So I feel like paying attention, and then also find something that you really love to do.
Good point.
I feel like once you're in high school, like most people, they don't have any idea what they want to do. But I feel like if you find something you love, whether it be art or sports, or if you just like talking to people, join a debate team or something. But find something you love and really invest in it and put your time and passion into it.
Okay, so young folks, you heard from a senior in high school that's been through a few things in his life that if you put the work in, if you have a support group, pay attention to the teachers, have good friends, you can be successful in life. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. Also, the friends is a big thing. Like, they say you're like the sum of the 5 people that you hang around the most, and I feel like that's really true. That's why I like to hang out with the other athletes, and I feel like being around them, it motivates you to be a better athlete. When you hang around people with the same goals as you all motivate each other to be better, to get better. And I mean, I feel like I experience that every day. Like, me and my friends, every day we're talking about, oh, this school and this school, or this college, or this person's doing this and this sport. And I feel like when you have positive things like that, you not only push each other, but you keep yourself distracted in a good way, so that you don't get into bad things and you don't develop bad habits or do like have bad actions.
This is an old soul talking over here, man.
Yeah, he got foresight also.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite podcasts, man, because you're my youngest one on it, number one. You're my oldest one on it. So I got a double header today, Before we close up, Leo, is there anything you would like anything you would like to say to grandfathers and great-grandfathers that don't spend any time with the grandkids or great-grandkids?
Hey, man, if you got a grandkid or great-grandkid that you can help, I mean, there's no other way to do it but help. I mean, if you, all kids have potential, but you gotta bring it out, you gotta motivate them, you gotta help them and tell them how difficult sometimes things are. But if you can help them, hey, you got to reach for them. So that's what I do.
I've been telling people for years, the best gift you can give your child, your grandchild, your great-grandchild is your time.
Right.
Because if you give them a little time, That means there's something special about you.
Yeah, and if you're helping your kid learn to play golf, you gotta give him time. Because, I take him to the golf course, the tournaments, and we there at 7 o'clock, and he finished at 4 o'clock. So I'm not out on the course. I'm waiting for him. But, I don't have no problem with that when I was doing that.
Yeah,
so,
I remember those days,
Right. Exactly, So you just got to keep encouraging and directing, giving them direction that you think is right.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. So, you grandfathers and great-grandfathers, you're not too old to have an impact on a child's life.
Oh, no.
You're not so old.
Especially you got one that listen.
Yeah. And they don't listen, just keep giving them your time.
You still got
come around.
Yeah, right. That's right. Exactly.
Yeah. So, let your great-granddad say what he had to say now.
Not cutting you off, but he did tell me that he wished he had started playing golf when I first got him to when I wanted him to try it. Yeah, when he was 4 or 5. I wish I had started.
That was the one thing that I didn't listen to him about was golf. And I mean, because I just wanted to play football then. I mean, to me, back when you're that young, like, I feel like, obviously hindsight is 20/20, but definitely golf has more opportunity than football because everybody's playing football, everybody's playing basketball, everybody's playing baseball, but how many people are really playing golf? And when you think about that, then you realize golf has a multitude of opportunities, and you don't necessarily have to be a professional on the tour. You could be working for them. You could be a broadcaster. You could be looking at the finances of the companies, anything. And I mean, golf is $1 billion industry that's most people don't know about. So I mean, look into golf for sure.
Yeah, well, you didn't listen to him back then, but I remember I was talking to, I can't recall his name, but I met him at Chester, Washington. He was Tiger's golf coach when Tiger was younger. And he has a book out. I can't remember his name. And he told me, like, from age 13, it was from 14 to 18, because the kid has not physically or mentally grown yet.
Yeah.
That in a short period of time, you will learn things so fast, be able to execute them so fast because of that age.
I think that's happened to me because I finally got into golf like around 9, 10, around there, and I wasn't all the way invested in the beginning, and I feel like once I reached high school, especially once I started playing on the high school team, then I finally realized, like, I can do this, and then I started realizing I can create opportunities for myself through this game, and once I realized that, I feel like that completely changed my trajectory in golf, started getting better, started feeling better, I enjoyed it more. I started to actually love it, not just be there to be there, and yeah.
Well, and not only that, man, you understand, from a nutritional standpoint, as far as getting rest is concerned, as far as, and still hitting your books. Now, are you the number 1 or 2 golfer at your high school?
I'm the number 1 golfer.
Number 1. You see how he says, oh, ain't no big, I'm just number 1. Hey,
yeah,
man.
I don't know.
No, you're not bragging, you just stating a fact.
I don't know. I just don't like to, yeah.
Well, that's okay. No, hey, man, your humility, man, your great personality, man, it's going to take you far in life because you do well in school. You're a smart kid. And you already showed the fact that you listen. And you listen to older people. And the older folks have more information than people that are much younger than them anyway. So, hey, so we're going to end this thing up, man. Dontay, man, I wish you the best, man. I'm happy for you. I've been seeing you I think I may have seen him playing golf. He was 10, you were 10 or 11.
Yeah.
When I was
right?
really young. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can't thank you enough, great grandfather, man, for you and your daughter, greatest, magnificent young man.
Hey, we thank you for giving us this opportunity to let him speak and for us to come together and hope somebody else will be influenced by what he says.
Yeah, that's the whole point. You know, the fathers, the grandfathers, the great grandfathers be influenced by what you have to say, and then guys your age, younger and older, be influenced by what you have to say. Because what you're saying is like, hey guys and girls, hey, you can do this.
Right.
Whatever it may be, because you're talking about arts and that other type, whatever it is that you do you.
Yeah, and also thank you to you and your organization. Like the things you do for kids, I think it leaves a lasting impact. Because I mean, even for me, the kayaking, that I'll never forget that. That was
That's right.
probably one of the best days of my life.
Is that right? Well,
Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate that. Just we do it every August, just to let you know.
I brought one of my friends along, and I mean, he remembers it. Like those experiences are the things that matter, that will leave a lasting impact on kids.
It means a lot to me. I appreciate that. And I only have one request for you, man. When you become the best college player in America, come back and we'll do this podcast again. and one more time, you got to wear our Files Forever T-shirt as well, man. Okay, so hey, thank both you gentlemen. We look forward to success because you're grounded, man. I'm happy to see that you're well grounded. This was you are a gift to us, and we appreciate it. We appreciate the creator of the universe. Yes. I told him to turn his phone off. But it's all good. But yeah. Hey man, we appreciate you. So we're gonna wrap this thing up, and hey, we're gonna have you back. Have you guys back. I'm gonna keep up with you as you do your college thing, and I'll be out there to see some of your tournaments. That is a fact.
Yeah, we thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.